This has got to be the most atrocious nose known to mankind. Who punched you, bro? Why is his nose slanted this heavy, bro?
Yo.
What's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna be watching child murderers that were instantly in prison. Without further ado, let's get started.
Shelly came in and you read his paperwork and it said he's a child molester, you would have to kill him or you would get killed.
Wait, so they're forced to? There's a rule in prison that if you don't kill them, they gonna kill you? Oh, buddy, then by all means, I can see why they do it.
That's how it works. There's no way around it.
Prison is a living hell for child molesters.
Good.
Once the word gets out that the new inmate was brought in on charges of pedophilia, this inmate gets maltreated by his peers, rejected, and more times than not, they get killed. Here are 10 child molesters who were instantly killed in prison.
Look at their build. Don't they have something in common? They're all chopped. They're chopped.
There is no mercy for sex offenders in prison. Some of the most brutal violence I saw
was
against sex offenders.
Was it what? They gangbanged them? You're telling me they gave him the Riley Reid action? They gave him the casting couch? Interesting.
Number 10. Christian Meyer. January 2nd, 2019, Christian Meyer was beaten to death by 3 inmates in his prison facility. The perpetrators of this act were Adam Wright, who was in prison for robbing several banks, Alex Castro and Jason Cachego, who held Meyer down as he was stabbed 28 times.
Is that not overkill 28 times? We'll probably have more holes in them than Ace from One Piece. Damn! Are y'all trying to tear him limb from limb?
And thrown down a flight of stairs. But wait, what exactly was Meyer's crime?
What?
Born on November 2nd, 1976, Myers was a computer science graduate and an expert with the web.
Yeah, he was a bit too much expert that he went, looking at sites that he wasn't supposed to.
He was a father of 2 children, but at the same time, he was one of the leaders of an online child exploitation ring that was active from 2012 to 2017. Meyer and his—
So you could have done anything with that degree, but what you wanted to do is put children on the net? And you're a father? Dude, that's so weird.
fellow pedophiles used different means to extort inappropriate media from underage girls online. They sometimes pretended to be cute teenage boys in a bid to gain the trust of these girls, while other times they were blackmailed into continuously sending inappropriate media.
I've heard of catfishes. I've never heard of someone catfishing a boy to get an underage girl's nudes. Bro, do you know how down bad you gotta be? I didn't even think that was a possibility, and people are doing it like it's a game.
Yeah. Meyer and about 9 other men successfully exploited 100 girls with inappropriate media until one of the girls partnered with the FBI to fish him out in 2017.
Damn.
The next year, Christian Meyer was charged with sexual exploitation of a minor and other crimes, leading to his 40-year sentence in prison and then ultimately to his death.
40? I mean, shit, you was not getting out anyway. They might have done your ass a favor.
Number 9. Theodore Dyer.
I killed him was because he was a child molester. So you did in fact kill him? Oh sure, and you intended to kill him? Oh sure, yes.
Damn.
October 29,
that man just
2014.
Came out with it.
A man named Theodore Dyer was—
Dude, I guess you could say he died. No, bad pun. Why is his chin this weak? This nigga is built like a pigeon, bro. This is one of the most atrocious builds ever.
Was murdered by his own cellmate, Steven Sanderson, for molesting a 9-year-old girl. Dyer met this young girl in—
Alright, my nigga, out of every stock video, you gonna give us a little girl crying, bro? Come on, YouTuber, you gotta edit this.
2012, when the girl and her mother moved into an apartment next to his. At the time, Dyer didn't seem predatory in any form. In fact, the mother freely allowed her children to spend time in his apartment during the day.
Why?
However, one day, this mother walked into Dyer's apartment and saw something worse than a nightmare.
What?
On a cold night in June 2013, this mother came home and her daughter was nowhere to be found. Then she went over to Dyer's apartment to look for her.
What?
For some reason, this mother decided not to knock, going straight through the front door and into Dyer's room.
What did she walk into?
To her greatest surprise, she found her daughter getting molested by Dyer.
This is when you gotta get the biggest Glock you got, cock it back once, you gotta get it with the switch handle, point it at that man, and go crazy. By the way, YouTube, this is not real. This is not real, it's a toy gun in GTA. But hell no! Roles reversed, chat, I'm seeing red. I'm emptying the clip, dude.
She immediately grabbed her, took her home, and called the cops. Then in January 2014, Dyer was sentenced to 50 years on charges of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. However, just like I said at the beginning, he was found dead in his cell only 9 months later. Sanderson strangled Dyer to death with a rope in the early hours of the morning before the guards could notice.
I also heard he was bragging about it, so shit.
Sanderson was in prison for killing his girlfriend in 1991, and since he was serving a life sentence, he felt it wouldn't change anything if he added one more criminal act to his book of crimes.
Yeah, it really wouldn't have changed anything.
Number 8. Richard Huckle. With a name like the dark web, you can tell that's where the shady and very secretive things on the internet get shared.
Any of y'all like be on the dark web? Like, is it a common thing?
But a man named Richard Huckle took this to a whole new level. He had a fan page on the dark web where he shared mind-boggling photos and videos of himself molesting children.
A fan page? There's a group of people that look up to him. When I think of fan pages, I think of Ice Spice. I think of Nicki Minaj. You know, people that they got fans because of their, you know, their talent. You know, maybe not their vocal talent, but their, you know, their talent back there. There's people that got fans for showing CP.
Children. But as sick as that was, Richard's fan page had tens of thousands of views on each post. The number grew so high it alerted US and Australian authorities to look into the fan page themselves. And then from one account to the other, they uncovered the identities of these pedophiles before they finally decrypted the identity of the man who was running the entire sick show, Richard Huckle. After Huckle was identified, the US tracked down his every move, and when they found out he was
arrest all of them 10,000 people. Matter of fact, gather them in a room and drop a nuclear bomb. None of them deserve to live anymore, bro.
Moving to the UK to spend the Christmas holiday. They contacted officers at the National Crime Agency who arrested him at London's Gatwick Airport. He was then questioned on suspicion of serious offenses against children. Though his laptop and hard drive had more than enough evidence of his sexual exploitations with children, Huckle eventually confessed to the charges put against him. On June 6th, 2016, Huckle was sentenced to life imprisonment on 22 counts of sexual
22? My nigga. Were you like targeting every single age? Huh? My 22?
Conduct with a minor, and was expected to serve a minimum of 25 years before being eligible to apply.
It better be 25,000. What do you mean 25 years?
For parole. However, 3 years into his sentence, on October 13th, 2019, Huckle was found dead in his cell while his body seemed like it had undergone extreme torture. His killer, Paul Fitzgerald, was also in prison for sexual offenses.
My nigga, both of y'all are both weird. What? What did he do?
Fitzgerald tied Huckle's hands and feet. Then he gagged, strangled, and even inserted a kitchen utensil into Huckle's before stabbing.
Friendly fire is crazy. But no, that's what it is. It is friendly fire. That nigga got 13 reasons why, bro. Hey, man, I'm not complaining, but damn.
Into Huckle's before stabbing him to death. Number 7. David OAS Ramirez. August 2019, at a jail in Jacksonville, Florida, two inmates on the top floor had an argument that resulted in the death of one of them, OAS Ramirez. This floor of the facility was reserved for the most dangerous.
I could tell she's thick, bro. I could just tell she's thick.
Criminals, and OAS, having committed a crime against humanity, was kept there. OAS was charged and sentenced to life imprisonment in 2013 for sexually molesting an 11-year-old girl who confided in her mother about what he had done to her.
Damn.
But after his sentence, he was sent to this facility where he met his death at the hands of another prisoner, Paul Dixon.
This man just looked like he's just seeing red, bro.
Dixon was a 43-year-old inmate who had been in this facility since he was 17 for a murder he committed.
Damn.
But sometime in August 2019,
he got bored of prison, bro, chat. He wanted to get on with his second life, bro.
He and Ramirez got into an argument before Dixon stuck Ramirez's head in a toilet bowl until he drowned.
I just want to know, did he put his dicks in Dixon? YouTube, I was adopted as a kid. I've been neglected. Women don't love me. I'm sorry. That was a horrible pun.
Now, Ramirez's story took a drastic turn when the prison wardens wanted to keep his murder a secret. It was initially filed that Ramirez had been discharged, but the reason for his release was not filed. Then another inmate who witnessed the murder refused to give a statement for maybe the fear of being tagged as snitch. another offense taken seriously in prisons.
Okay.
So why exactly was Ramirez's murder initially covered up?
Why?
Number 6. Mitchell Harrison. July 2012, Mitchell Harrison, an inmate at Durham's Franklin Prison in County Durham, UK, was disemboweled by 2 other inmates.
What's disemboweled? Does that mean he got his booty taken? Define disemboweled. Low attention span. Dude, shut up. Cut or yo! I ain't know you can't get down like that. Huh? Okay, yo, UK. You know what? Maybe your food isn't that bad.
Nathan Mann and Michael Parr.
Bro, this nigga look easy to draw, bro. I'm sorry, but dude, this nigga look like a thumb, bro.
And was always that dude with weird sexual jokes. And as he grew older, his weird sexual fantasies became violent. At just 13 years of age, Harrison brutally assaulted a 7-year-old girl, leading to his first run-in with the law.
What happened?
He was given a formal warning by authorities, but 2 years later, he was charged to court for threatening to rape a 15-year-old classmate.
I can just imagine him in his classroom and niggas arguing or clowning each other like, bro, shut up. That's why you get no hoes. Bro, shut up with them dusty ass shoes. Shut up before I argue. Like what? No, he was the person in class that didn't know how to roast properly. You know what I'm trying to say? How do you play around like that? Niggas need help, bro.
At this point, the signs of who Harrison would become were clear. But they became clearer than ever when he raped a 13-year-old girl at the age of 23. He met her on the street and lured her naively to his apartment on the pretense that he would give her money for alcohol. However, Harrison made her strip naked before raping her brutally, not once, but twice. This little girl was able to pick up a few pieces of her clothing and run out into the street. Harrison was then arrested, charged, and sent to prison where he met his end. According to the statement from Nathan and Michael, Harrison had been bragging to other inmates about the
Twice is insane, and you're bragging about it? You think the other people gonna respect you? Hey, yeah, man, one time, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, there was a minor out on the streets. Yeah, I did it twice. You know how insane you sound? Yes, prisoners might be weird, but they're not that weird. Actually, I don't know, some of them might, but
things he had done to different underage girls. So they cooked up a plan for him.
yeah, that's what you get, my nigga. Like, how you gonna use that as an icebreaker? Oh, what are you in here for? Oh, yeah, I just so happen to touch all these. Like, no, stop.
They invited him into an empty cell where they tied him up, stabbed his eye, slit his throat, and slit open his stomach until all his intestines fell out. They were both in for life, so murdering Harris didn't change anything.
Yo.
Number 5, David Kver.
Okay.
July 2019, David Kver was killed by...
Yo, how much air does this man breathe in? I know he has to take deep breaths so oxygen can come through his nose, because this has got to be the most atrocious nose known to mankind. Who punched you, bro? Why is his nose slanted this heavy, bro? I've never seen a nose built like this.
by his cellmate, Jimmy Ray Carruthers. Jimmy Ray strangled David to death and then stomped on his throat to make sure the deed was done. But more than a decade before this, Kver was charged with sexual exploitation of a minor. This event took place in 1994, and in 96 he was sent to prison. However, lucky for Kver, he was released in 2009. But unlucky for him, he failed to register as a sex offender, and so was rearrested in 2010 and
Damn.
sentenced to another 8 years in prison.
Okay?
That's where he met Jimmy Ray, who eventually ended up taking his life in prison.
If you fail, you gotta serve 8 years? Damn! Them niggas do not play around.
That's where he met Jimmy Ray, who eventually ended up taking his life. When Kver was found dead in his cell, Jimmy Ray showed zero remorse and even stood by the door while the prison wardens took him away. But the crazy twist to this story is that both Kver and Jimmy were sex offenders. Jimmy had been
Spider-Man meme? Bro's nose got a filtering system.
remanded in prison since 1994 on charges of sexual battery on a minor and child abuse.
Okay.
So maybe Jimmy Ray saw Kver and hated the sight of himself, or maybe he didn't realize that he was also as evil as Kver. And had he not committed the crime, Jimmy was scheduled to be
Nigga removing the competition. Yo, bro, you guys are actually evil, bro.
released in 2021. But killing Kver earned him a one-way ticket to spending the rest of his life behind bars.
I mean, shit, that's what he should have got anyway.
Number 4. Liam Dean. This one right here will send shivers down your spine.
What happened?
July 2017. Liam Dean murdered his 2-year-old daughter, Luna.
What can a 2-year-old do that makes you want to end them so bad?
I know that's mind-boggling, but the story is much more tragic than you think.
What happened?
2 days after her birth, Liam Dean put his baby through a series of assaults, breaking her skull and ribs in the process. He repeated
2 days, my nigga, she didn't even get to live yet. What could a 2-day-old baby do to you?
repeatedly punched her in the face and twisted her extremely fragile body to break her bones until she died. But of course, this was his child, and this was also one of those cases where anger issues get the better of people. He was supposed to look after the newborn baby while the mother was getting some rest from child labor. However, the excessive crying from the child apparently made him do what he did. And when he realized himself and the despicable thing he had done, he called the medics and lied that the child repeatedly hit her head on a surface.
Dude, you know how lame you gotta be? Let your wife go through all that labor, carrying that baby in her stomach for months, just for you to kill the baby after 2 days? Bro, I'm not gonna lie. This man, bro, please give him death, bro.
The doctors battled to save her for 3 good days before she died.
Damn,
Investigations began, and Dean finally confessed to the crime. Now, just thinking about it, what degree of punishment do you think he deserved for something so cruel? Well, even though it isn't our place to judge, Dean was sentenced to prison in 2017
Good.
and was eventually killed by his cellmate, John Westland. John
thought he was a sex offender. Hey, nigga, he might as well have been a sex offender with what he did.
thought he was a sex offender and killed Dean with an aftershave bottle.
Damn.
Surprisingly, John Westland was in prison for raping and assaulting a woman.
Okay, I'm seeing so much ironies. The people that are killing these people, y'all probably needed to also look at yourselves in the mirror too, my nigga.
Number 3.
I'm seeing some people saying W. Johns. I don't know if y'all still want to say that afterwards.
Robert Munger. Robert was a 70-year-old inmate who was serving a 43-year sentence for multiple charges of child molestation and rape. Then there was another prisoner going by the name of Shane Goldsby. Goldsby was in prison for causing a police chase and ramming his car into a patrol.
I don't even think Goldsby needed to do all of that. You just gotta give him a McDonald's fright and let God do the rest. He's 70 years old, bro. He's on 1 HP.
Vehicle. But this is where the story gets interesting.
What happened?
One of the numerous girls molested by Robert Munger just so happened to be Shane Goldsby's sister. These 2 men were then put in the
Dude, that gotta be the greatest irony ever, bro. He gonna get his revenge for his sister, though. I'm proud of him.
same prison facility, the same pod, and the same cell. It was like Shane was in some sort of trap. With each passing day, he felt the urge to kill this man. He
Good.
begged the prison wardens to change his cell multiple times, but they refused. And anytime he felt like harming this person, he hit the emergency button in his cell.
Why would the prison even do that?
No one came to check up on him. So, one day, he decided to beat the old man to death,
I can't
hitting
blame
him
him.
14 times in the face and stomping on his head
Damn.
5 times. Robert Munger was found dead, and Shane Goldsby was sentenced to 24 more years imprisonment for this.
Damn.
Number 2. Nicholas Anderson. January 22nd, 2017. Nicholas Anderson was found dead in prison. His throat was slit with an improvised weapon, and the perpetrator of the act was another inmate.
Why are all prisoners got the weirdest head shape, bro? Like, look at this jaw, bro. Bro's been mewing a bit too heavy, bro.
Rocky Ali Beeman. Rocky was on a murdering spree, taking out sex offenders in prison, and
That man wanted a KD ratio full of sex offenders? Hey, man, I'm here for it.
everyone knew about it. Ali Beeman previously made a declaration that he hated sex offenders and would kill any one of them he came across until he was put on death row. This guy was so serious, he wrote a letter to a judge telling him how much he loved killing these sex offenders.
Yo!
For some reason, Ali Beeman wasn't killed and wasn't put on death row. So,
Because they wanted him to do his job. Hey, guess what? Release him and put him in neighborhoods filled with sex offenders. We're gonna get a more peaceful America, bro.
he found another sex offender, Brian Hunsaker, who he stalked within the prison before strangling and stabbing him more than 80 times in the shower. Beeman truly had a passion for killing sex offenders. However, I'll leave it to you to imagine what you think happened to him next.
Probably died. I don't know.
Number 1. Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh yeah, he killed himself, right? Damn. Okay, I didn't think I would see him.
Jeffrey Epstein was an American sex offender and financier. He had
Damn.
an elite social circle where he and his associates gathered many women and children for sexual abuse.
Interesting.
In 2005, police in Palm Beach, Florida began investigating Epstein after a parent reported that he had sexually abused her 14-year-old daughter.
Damn.
Epstein later pleaded guilty to this
And then that all led to his island being investigated. Damn. Bro cannot wait to take her to the island.
allegation and was sentenced to prison in 2008 on charges of procuring a child for prostitution and of soliciting a prostitute.
Damn.
However, being a man with many connections, Epstein was able to get a controversial plea deal after only serving 13 months. This was particularly shocking because the federal officials had identified about 36 girls, with some being as young as 14, that Epstein had abused.
36? Bro took a whole class to a field trip. What do you mean 36?
But on July 6th, 2019, Epstein was rearrested on federal charges for sex trafficking of minors in
Damn.
Florida and New York. He was
Damn.
remanded in prison as he awaited trial
Bro was hella
and was
scouting.
also denied bail. However,
Shit.
on August 10th, 2019, he was found dead in his prison cell.
By his own self,
Prison
right?
medical examiner ruled that his death was a suicide by hanging, but
Chat, what do y'all think? Y'all think he offed himself? Or y'all think someone else did it because of the amount of people he could have exposed? Nah, I feel like, bro, he ain't off himself, bro. Some other person did it, and, you know, because they didn't want y'all to find out that, I don't know, Oprah Winfrey also participated in this.
his lawyers and the general public don't buy that story.
No.
The reason is that Jeffrey threatened to expose some of the most influential men in the world and their involvement in sex trafficking. So maybe they had him killed. Maybe he killed himself out of fear of what other inmates might do to him.
Anyways, YouTube, that does include that. As you can see, you know, be a normal person. Join us on Discord. Catch us on Twitch. Make sure you subscribe. All that good stuff, man. Waxer for life. Love y'all. And peace.